Report 87. You ever think about time, Primary? About how fast things can change? The Divine Fleet started nearly 30,000 years ago. Can you imagine? 30,000 years. Real years, not like where we're from. All those lives back to back to back, connected by a taut string of continuity. From the first who studied under Kamala Cadence to those who walk the seraphic shores of Seance today, all of them, countless beings who never breathe the same air, but who each equally belongs to the same thing, to that fleet. And then, less than a millennia ago, a handful of those people left, and today their descendants. Quire hangs right in the middle of the Twilight Mirage, but most of the people on the planet, they don't even know what a divine is. Not really. But does that mean that they aren't part of that continuity? A few hundred years, and then that line is just snapped? I don't know, Primary. It's just, you think you know where you're from. You know who raised you. You remember your teachers. I can't forget my first deployment. But there's a larger story. We're all connected to things we don't know that we could never know. But in my mind, those things count too. Whether we want them to or not.
Yeah, maybe it's like it's something that looks like a shadow, and everyone left, and the shadow moved, and it's like, oh, that wasn't
a
shadow. That's a line.
So you chase it because you think it's like inspiration, or what do you chase it for?
I chase it because I think it's because I want to see who did this. This must be a sign.
Yeah,
we're looking for a way through. If there's a marking here, it might be pointing towards something.
Yeah, so I think this is happening at sunset, and the sun is like, the shadows are all very long, and it takes you down a few side, like, alleys in this canyon, right? Like where little cracks of like little rivulets had broken through, and eventually you see the shadow on the wall, and there are these like two humanoid figures, and one of them has a ball, and it's like dribbling a ball, and then it drops the ball, and the shadow like fades down into the shadow on the ground, and then both figures turn and look at you. And there's no face, there's no body, there's just shadows on the wall. They look like the shadows of people who've been killed by a nuclear explosion, right? You know what I'm talking about? When like
I do, yeah.
But they're
chilling.
moving. And for the briefest moment, it looks like the ground itself like begins to push out of the side of the canyon wall at you.
Oh.
And then the sun like drops just beyond the canyon, and there's not enough light for shadow to be cast anymore, and it like recedes.
So now it's
just dark.
Now it's just dark. I think I want to. I hate that I keep like reaching for a pop culture thing instead of like, but I want to like Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein out of here. Like,
paint that picture. Give me a better.
Because it's not Abbott and Costello, it's just Costello. Costello is the one freaking out. Abbott is the one who's not seeing the things. I can't be both Abbott and Costello. That's ridiculous. But it's like a big, elaborate, like, ooh, and then like turning around and like ugly running. Like they're running where like the arms are windmilling.
Right.
And like running back and everyone's back at the maglev, and it's like the not being able to articulate what you just saw. That's like and like acting it out, like bouncing the ball, like turning around, covering my face.
Right.
Like,
Dre in the chat says, fucking Scooby Gang off to a great start here. Perfect. Yeah, everyone's back at the fire. Or like at the maglev and at camp. And that's what everyone else returns to see is that.
Like pointing and gesturing and not like not being able to get his shit together.
Do you like stutter like the word ghost?
Yeah, probably like or like
whatever you think it is.
You know, shadows.
I think even like puts his hand on Grand Mag's shoulder and it's like, okay, like just breathe. You could just breathe. You could tell the story in a minute. Just breathe first. There you go. Okay. Do you want to try that again? What'd you find?
Okay. I went down that way, and there were people made of shadow, and they don't have faces, and then it was all shadow, and I got scared, and I ran back this way. And combined with the werewolves you saw in that cave, I think we got to keep going. Just whatever the fastest way forward. Yeah, you said there were lycanthropes and the lycanthropes in the
even
the cave.
Rummages through like a compartment on his armor and pulls out a thing of a lichen and says, "I said lichen. I said lichen, like the plant."
Those are the smallest werewolves I've ever seen.
Yeah. So what do they turn into?
Oh. I did find a city though. It looked empty.
I mean, maybe
city.
all the inhabitants were killed by shadow monsters.
Maybe they are the shadow things. Like, it's not that far from where Even went, right?
Yeah, maybe the shadows live in the cave.
Yeah.
What did you two find?
I found a campfire in the distance with some people, but also a safe path around it. And then I also found Echo.
Yeah, I found rocks. That's it.
Good work. Good
It was
work.
a big rock.
Oh, also, Gig has a weird eye.
Oh.
I pop it out again.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You don't. Okay.
I make it do like a spin move.
Dude, I am going to kick that thing if you do
And
that
then,
again.
and then I go, wait, check this out. And then I have it fly back into my socket without actually squeeze itself in.
It's a fucking
Okay.
content warning body horror. Fuck.
You know, they sell these in the store. It's not crazy.
We just don't live in that world yet.
You have a drone in your face.
Did you make contact with the people at the campfire? Like, do they seem okay?
No, they didn't do anything weird, but I didn't love it. I didn't love that they were there.
Okay. So maybe we go through the cave to avoid them?
No, there was I found a safe path around them.
Yeah,
And like better like a couple people at a campfire than a city full of shadow people, right?
well, they didn't try to hurt Grand Magnificent. They, maybe they're
Only
scared
because he
of us.
ran away like a baby.
Well,
They did a very
That's harsh.
scary tableau.
Yes, they did terrify him.
I mean, I guess if they're shadow people and they live here and they've never seen a non-shadow person before, they might not know that what they did is out of like literally every horror movie. And I guess I have to be willing to accept that that's possible.
They don't have horror movies, so they don't know that what they're
Weird.
doing is scary.
Well,
Where'd you see
if
them again?
that's what they look like, maybe their horror movies have something else in them, some sort of flashlight monster.
Maybe they have their own movies where people reacting all scared to them is their horror. Think about that. Let's go above. Let's not go in the caves.
what do you think, Echo?
So, there's two ways to look at this.
One is above the caves and one is through the caves.
I'm going to throw you. So, Gig saw people, and he saw a route around them, but we have no idea that they're staying in the same position. So we need to take that into consideration. Meanwhile, Mag, who has been sitting in the sun all day, and heat stroke is a very real thing, saw some shadows move, and there's an empty city, or town city. Well, there's an empty place below us here. We also need to take into consideration that we need solar power for the maglev, because I'm not carrying that thing. So it's more just like, what do you guys want to risk here? Because I think I can handle anybody that's hanging out on a mountain, but also if Mag's not comfortable, like if you want to get to the bottom of this shadow thing, we might want to go to there. I don't know.
The other thing to say is that, like, I found where we should put this thing. Like, I could see it from the top.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's important. That then we can double back if we need to, if we want to check out this town, because it sounds neat.
Yeah.
But if we can get this thing in place and then come back,
right,
to get to the bottom of whatever's going on,
that's what we're supposed to do. Austin, I do want to try. Like, I want to see if putting this lichen that emits light close to the solar panels on this maglev, if that light interacts with it in any sort of way.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I don't think so. Like it would. There's no immediate weird sci-fi response to it. No.
Okay.
We could go back to where I saw those. I mean, if I'm gonna be completely honest, and I don't want this to be a thing, but those were probably children. If
they were kids.
I mean, they were small and they were playing with a ball.
And you did that whole thing.
I mean, but they
Echo
weren't-
mimics the arms when they do that noise.
They didn't have faces. The eyes are the window of the soul, you know?
I don't want to talk about eyes anymore.
Yeah, I think we go over. It seems to be the fastest, most direct route. We don't have to worry about solar power, and
I do say we should check out where he saw them, just because if we're going up and they could be following us, we should be prepared for that.
I'd like to just get going.
It is nighttime now. It's probably 10 p.m. So
then we should wait till daylight for sure.
it's
Then
sleepy time.
I would like to just go to bed.
when Al and Myriad call in, how much of this information do you tell them? Do you just basically, we're going to go up over the plateau, or do y'all give them, there were shadow people, there's a city underground, etc.?
That's up to them, because Echo doesn't talk to those two.
If Even's on that call, Even gives them everything.
Okay. We don't have to
Yeah, I don't think there's any
whole
reason
talk.
to hide that information.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so then let's just jump ahead to the next day. And we're just we're up all the way to the little side ledge that Gig found with his floating eye. And you have the maglev on it. It is wide enough for the maglev and no wider. It is as tight of a pathway as could be, but you think it's going to be fine. You just have to go straight and then around this edge here or there, but it's basically, you can probably be okay. All it would take is a single moment of this path to be broken for this all to be fucked, but you think you're going to be okay. Is anyone doing anything? How do you pass the time as you walk this long? That's probably another day or two up on this ledge before you get to the other side.
I think Grand Magnificent is quietly to himself, but probably also to whoever's just next to him and shimming along this little ledge or whatever. I guess it's not a ledge if it's wide enough to fit the maglev. We're walking comfortably, but he's kind of doing the elevator pitch for the TV show about the werewolf monster robot that terrorizes the city. It's look out, the sky reflected in mirrors. It's Lycanthropot, and he's coming.
I really want that to be Echo getting pitched this. He was just
Uh-huh.
not even listening.
Oh,
and
God.
our hero is...
Echo can't even watch TV, can they? Because it's probably all tied up in the fucking veil bullshit.
Probably
Watch,
some
regular
stuff.
screens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you could get one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you should be in it. You see? You should be the one. You're basically the opposite of a giant werewolf robot that destroys cities. You should be the star of this.
What's the opposite of a werewolf?
You're a little non-robot that builds cities.
I'm gonna I'm gonna pass on that one.
I mean, don't say no right now. We're gonna. I mean, in
There's
however.
not even a script.
Yeah, you haven't read a script. I got some people you should talk to. We get back.
Yeah.
I mean, don't.
Wait till there's 10 pages of the teleplay.
And I can't write it, so you're gonna be waiting for a long time. I don't know how to write.
It's in the middle of this conversation that you hear like what sounds like a bird of prey, like shrieking, but it's like slightly more mechanical than that. And then you hear another one, and then another one, and then nothing. And that's coming from the center of the plateau that you're edging around.
Echo like immediately, and this is like a sign usually when they're training, like, oh, this is Echo's getting ready to fight. They tie their hair back into just like a messy ponytail, and they're taking off their jacket again and putting it like on the maglev just to be ready. And also, I think moving forward to like the front of the group.
Sure. You're still probably a day out from the northern edge of this plateau, and you're on guard, but nothing comes at you. But I'd say probably 4 hours later, you hear the same calls up in the sky. From where you're at, you can't get a shot. You can't get like eyes on where they are because the actual canyon wall, like the plateau wall, kind of prevents you from getting an angle on it. You could try to move to a better position to see it, but from here you can't see what's making that noise.
Oh, if only we had an industrial fabricator.
Or somebody that can climb really well, or somebody that can literally pull an eye out of their head.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up and try and see if I can find anything.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me how you do that and what you're feeling while you're doing it.
I think this is a very like professional, like, but there's like a weird feeling with this where Echo's like both kind of excited to mix it up with something and also just like, okay, this is my job. I've got to make sure I do this.
Sure. So
I'm not sure if that falls under powerful or peaceful. But I think it's one of those two.
Yeah. It's totally up to you. Like as long as you're comfortable with it, I'm fine with either of those. I could see the case either way.
Okay, I think I'll go powerful then, because usually when it comes to this sort of thing, that's Echo's main vibe.
Yeah, let's go for it.
And I'm assuming this is for parkour again, or
yeah, totally.
Okay, it's an 8.
There you go.
So,
that's at least not a failure this time.
So on a 7 and 9, I choose 2. The ones are escape an enemy and avoid all harm, leave no trail or trace, navigate to an advantageous spot, or change, reorganize, or manipulate the environment to their detriment. I think navigate to an advantageous spot is kind of the obvious one.
Yep, that's like the one you're going for sure.
And I think I'll do leave no trail or trace.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. All right, so you're able. So Echo, what's this look like? You just like start vaulting up the side of this thing.
So I think what Echo does, and this is probably something they were told like not to do in training, is they like hop and basically like use the maglev as a thing to jump off of.
Oh, you're definitely told not to do that.
Yeah, and they just basically like practically like leap up. They like grab a handhold of something and then they're able to just pull themselves up.
Gotcha. Cool. So you see that there are 3 or 4. It's hard to tell for sure. Up like big metal flying things up in the air. You can see the glint of steel or of metal on them in the hot sun. But you also see this kind of like blue, orange, yellow, like it takes you a second to see it because it's daytime right now, but you notice there is this like blue, orange, yellow light coming from them as well. Like almost like a jet of flame or something. And they are like doing passes up and down the plateau, and they would totally see you if you were up on top. They're also like based on their pattern, you can tell that they're like also going east a little bit, and they're scouting for something coming from the east, not on the plateau, but off the plateau. And you're able to kind of keep an eye on them from the edge of this plateau where you're like where your friends are down, or your maybe they're not your friends. I don't know. The rest of the group is down on that ledge. Yes, your coworkers are down on the ledge safely, and you're able to kind of keep an eye on this group. On top of that, like 3 or 4 kind of big metal wing things in the sky, there are also a group of, and you're kind of close enough to see this now, of other people with like a big rolling truck that is parked, and they have like a bunch of other military style equipment up on this plateau, and they're facing northwards.
They're like fully armed.
Oh yeah, I'd say that there are probably like 24 people all said.
So are they? So when you say facing northward and they're making passes east, are any of those going to cross our path?
The ones going north will absolutely cross the path that you will get to, but like you might be able to time it right so that you can get across to something. Like you don't know, you haven't seen what's to the north yet, right? So there might be cover for you when you get to the north. You just don't know it yet.
Okay, so I think Echo like kind of hops back down. Also landing on the maglev for a sec before they hit the ground, because like if they just did that sheer drop, it would really hurt.
Yeah.
And kind of just informs everybody of like, I don't think they were able to get a clear count on the group of like people, but they would like let them know how many like birds there are.
Yeah, I mean,
because like
I think
they're hanging from a ledge, so it was...
You're able to say there's over 20. There's over 20 people on the ground, for sure.
So my basic plan this was Echo talking. I was like, so what we should do is 1, take this very slowly, and 2, be ready, just in case, because these people look very dangerous. I can take point because I can, like, no offense, I'm like a foot shorter than most of you guys. Not a foot, but like I'm shorter than most of you guys. I can hide behind things better. So I can scout ahead a little bit and see if there's cover to stay behind, and that way we can hopefully not get shot at. Does that sound good?
I personally would love to not be shot at, yeah.
Okay.
Grand Magnificent gulps and like takes their pocket knife out of their
Don't worry, there are no shadow people.
backpack.
Jeez. Dragged.
Yikes.
So I think you're able to, like, given that information, you're able to move safely to the edge of the plateau over the next day. And I want to say it's probably around sunset of the following day when you make it to the edge, and looking north, you see... I mean, now at this point, you kind of pass another plateau off to your left, like to your west, and you're able to see the light that Gig saw way off to the distance to the west, and then you're also able to see that there is, in this sunset light, a little, there's like a road that goes from the west to the east. That is, I'd imagine it's not like the fanciest road in the world. Like, it's not a highway, but it's maintained. It's enough to call like an active road. And off about 5 miles away to the north, there is a little dirt path that comes from that main road out into the desert to the north. And there is what looks like, there's like a long building with a tower and then another little building next to it. Gig, you might think that might be the church that you heard about on the wind, basically.
So, can I tell what is like? So this is the area that those guys were trying to scout.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll let you just know, like, you're able to hop up and see that, like, every few hours they send up those winged things, and at night you can see the, like, it's like a bright bluish, greenish, yellow, like a turquoise, like there's differentiation in the color, like plasma on the wings, basically, like a bright fire. And then those come down and then they go up in cycles, basically. So if you time it just right, you'll be able to get somewhere without being seen. If you do it at night, I'll give you advantage on the roll. But also then you're moving at night, which has its own problems.
All right, I think just to not have me say it all in character, Echo kind of relays everything there.
Yep, sure.
And so I think we want to try doing this at night, definitely. But if things go bad, I can try and distract them and pull them away from your group. And that's to Even, who Echo has basically nominated as like leader of stuff. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. We just need to, I think, really be careful about those bird things.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think night's the right call. And seriously, don't sacrifice yourself.
Oh no, like I'd kick their asses and get away real easy. Don't worry about it.
Fair.
Great. Good. So are you going at night or are you going during the day?
I think night for sure.
Okay. Who's leading this?
Oh,
and where are you going? Are you going to those buildings? Are you going somewhere else? Gig, did you talk about the church to other people?
Yeah, I mentioned the church.
Okay.
Then yeah,
I think we should go to the church. They are amenable hosts.
I think like scouting the church is probably a good idea.
At the very
Bringing-
least, it's somewhere to cover or hide. If
Yep.
like this is a big group, we need to really be considerate of what could happen with them.
Yeah, building gives us a chance to make choke points and stuff like that if we have to.
When you say scouting, do you mean with the like bringing the node with you, or do you mean just by yourselves?
Heading towards the church, would that be heading in the same direction as the spot that I was like, oh, that'll be a good spot?
Yeah, that is the spot. Yes, totally.
Okay, well then, yeah, let's totally bring the thing with us.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so whoever's leading is going to have to make a risk roll and tell me how you're doing it. Like, how do you stay in cover? Like, tell me what your
Well,
player unknown battleground strategy is for getting across this map.
I got a little eye.
You do have a little eye.
I got a little eye guy.
So you
man.
leave the eye up in the sky, like on lookout,
yeah.
basically? Cool.
Basically, yeah.
All right, so give me a risk. When you're aware of an act to avoid imminent danger, say how you do it and roll. On 10+, you do it as you describe, and the danger doesn't come to bear. On a 7 to 9, in the doing of it, there's a cost, complication, or choice introduced by the MC, which is me.
Yes.
So tell me how you're feeling, and do it.
I think that I'm feeling, that's tough. It might be a little scared. I might be feeling a little scared.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Go ahead and roll scared.
It's nighttime. I
Yeah.
feel like we've really hammered home like that these people are dangerous and they're looking for something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, who knows what I saw earlier?
Yes.
Right.
Right, so the shadow creatures. Ooh.
I got a
spooky.
9 there.
Okay. I think
Is there an opportunity for like an aid or something?
there
Or is that
totally
not?
is. There totally is opportunity for an aid. Does anyone want to aid or help?
Oh. How does does that work similar to other Power by
Yeah,
the
you
Apocalypse
just
stuff?
straight up roll, but you roll with an emotion, with a state, instead of rolling with like a bond or anything. And if you get a 7 to 9, you also expose yourself to danger. So
Yeah, I'll help. And I think maybe the aid is like before this happened, like even like gave Gig like basically like a pep talk and like kind of
Okay.
like ran over like basic like, okay, like you want to make sure that you're watching like your quadrants like and rotate like every like couple minutes and like blah 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 military talk blah 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 blah. And I think that feeling is powerful. I think this is like even in his element. Like he's like, okay, like this is the part of the mission that I'm brought here for to
Right.
like make sure that these civilians like make it through.
okay. Give me.
Do I get
help or
the
hinder.
state bonus from that, or do I just roll a 2d6 and mark the motion?
Oh wait, you know what? 1 second. Sorry, Keith.
No,
you
you're
should
good.
roll one more d6.
One more D6?
Because you
How
had
come?
advantage. When you have an advantage in the system, you roll an extra d6.
Oh.
Okay, just roll a D6 by itself right now?
Yep, and then we'll add that. It'll be whatever your highest is. You roll 3d6 and take the highest. And disadvantage is the opposite. You roll 3d6 and take the lowest. Okay, it doesn't.
Oh, that
Oh,
makes
it
it
does
10.
actually. That 3
No,
is
no, it
higher.
does. Yeah, so it's
that's
a 10.
Yep, you totally do it. My
Okay.
bad. Sorry for making you
Excellent.
do that
So-
whole talk there.
It's fine.
Dre.
Yeah.
Uh,
You could still have done that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could still have given that pep talk.
Yeah.
And then so you're able to. I think the cover of night saves you. Right, there's this moment where one of the they're called I'm calling them glint wings, flies overhead and is like just close enough to where if it was daytime, definitely would see you. But you're able to be like stop, and everyone stops, and then like it flies overhead and passes on without seeing you, and the dark like kept you safe. And then you're able to get closer to the church. And as you near it, you hear the first sound that you hear is a tambourine. And then like a chorus, like a not like a choir, like a background vocals, and then like a kind of nice like guitar riff. And then it's just like a love song. It's basically like a Motown song is playing from inside.
Oh,
Now, I have a question about my class.
Sure.
So we've got Curiosity of Millions, and when I have hit, the things that I need to hit, I can start broadcasting.
Yes. I think you're recording all the time though, right?
Yeah. I think that's true, and then I piece together what I want the broadcast
Yeah.
to have been / to be going forward?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're like ready to like face a camera and do a monologue right now, you should do it right this second. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, not yet. I just want to be prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what. Oh, by the way, that's what the eye is for. It's for getting a shot of me.
Right.
Oh, so you're always on camera with like
missing an eye.
So I can have a first person view, but then I can also have the camera to set up shots.
You have imagination, which is you're able to place anything you can imagine as an overlay on your stream. Do you have like a cyber eye, like a fake eye in your eye hole when you take a photo of your, like when you're, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not just, I mean, if it's just your eye socket, then I guess, you know what, it's the future. People have gotten used to just seeing eye sockets, I guess.
Sure, but he also described it as like it just flies in there, so it's not like a normal like person who doesn't have an eye. It's like literally just a head hole.
So I think there's a few levels to this, like visually. I think that a lot of the times I'm just like taking it out with my hand and putting it back in with my hand. But I imagine that in really dramatic moments, there's this like almost Persona 3 look of like the eye flying out of my head and me sort of like flying, like me sort of being like knocked backwards a little bit from the force of the eye coming out of my head, and I'm like, eye out of my eye. It doesn't hurt, but it's just very dramatic.
And you just yell Persona, and then right, got it.
Yeah.
God.
So, but yeah, I don't think that the image that I want to be projecting to my fans is like empty eye socket.
Yes.
So I can just like think up, hey, there's an eye there still.
And it'll go on because you have imagination.
It'll just go
Just
on. Right, yeah. So I can
Yeah.
So in addition to like being able to set up flashbacks and
chirons
headlines
and right, yeah, all that stuff. You also
I can also just be like, I could like overlay like an image of a dragon on the horizon. Or
I love that one of Gig's powers is like master of OBS.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say really briefly, so that we're clear on this. You need a lead, which you have. You need a source, and then you need facts. So the facts are going to be just like, oh, here it is. We're setting up this. We're actually doing this. We're expanding the Mirage. I think a source in this case would either be documents, information, or just talking to people nearby. Like you're again, like I almost think of this as being a television show, again, an episode of Parts Unknown or something. We're like, okay, well, here are the people around the place that we're going to set up the node, or like, oh, I'm going to do a story on the theoretical divine that's here somewhere. Like, oh, I'm going to talk to sources who told me about it, and you like have them on, and you do like a little interview segment or whatever. So think about filling those out. Once you have the source and the facts, you can broadcast.
Right.
Cool. So do y'all go to this church? You show up, like what's the talk me through that, me through the arrival.
I don't know who should be in charge here.
I feel like the church was my lead, so I think that I probably feel the most comfortable going up to, like, for everyone else, all that I said was like, hey, let's go to the church,
right?
And like, what church? I was like, there's a church eventually. So I think since everyone else is sort of flying blind on the church, I think that maybe I should go first.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Grand Magnificent says we're about to buy 20 robots, which for new listeners is a reference to a previous game of Friends at the Table. All right.
Gig comes back with just 20 new eyes.
Okay.
20 new eyes and a power drill.
God. All right. So. As you get closer, the music is playing louder and louder, and you can tell the music is coming from the part that is like, so there is a church with a tower, with like a church, like a bell tower, basically, and then there was like an adjoining smaller, like building that's just off to the side, like it's not physically attached, but it's very close by. There's a little garden here, and you can see that further to the, I have to look at a thing really quick, 1 second. I think it's further to the north. It gets, I guess kind of like, at this point, kind of all around you, there's like a mix of desert and greenery. Do you know what I mean? But way to the west, it gets super deserty. So you go in first. Where are you going? Do you go to the little house or do you go to the big church?
Where are they sort of in relation to Like, what's first? Where's the music coming from?
The music's coming from the church. They're both, a 2-minute
They're
walk
next to
away.
each other.
They're right
They're-
next to each other. Like, they're both. Yeah, it's your choice.
Let's go to the big church.
Okay. So you walk in through there's the big wooden front doors, right? And there's language on the church that you don't recognize, is the first thing I'll note.
Mhm.
Like, including, there's like an image of what you think is a planet, like above the church door. Like it's like inscribed into the side of into the wall above the doors. And then there's just big wooden doors, and there definitely is writing all around it that like you just do not understand at all. But you do understand the music, like the lyrics, the vocals that are being sung on the radio or whatever's playing. Which you notice it's a radio because you open the door and it has kind of like, you can hear that there's a speaker sound. It's also like not the best quality speaker sound.
This was not live music.
It was not. You didn't know from a distance, but you get closer and you're like, okay,
Right.
this is not live music. And there is you like open this front door, and then you notice there's a huge back door that you could not see from this angle. That was just like a garage door rolled up all the way.
Yeah.
And there is like a giant dune buggy, being held aloft by a big pneumatic system. And there was just like a giant dude, like 7 feet tall and like 3 feet wide. He has on like overalls, and coveralls or overalls? Overalls. And has like grayish skin, and he's just like looking up underneath this buggy and is like singing along to this Motown track, and like working on this Doom buggy.
Sorry, Doom Buggy?
Doom buggy. You got it. Yeah, it's
Doom
called a Doom
Buggy.
buggy.
Got it.
You got it, Doom buggy. I'm trying to think of what this Motown song is.
Yeah, because there's like happy Motown songs. There's sad Motown songs. There's honestly kind of like if he's in there singing like Grapevine or something, that's a little creepy.
No, it's
whereas
not
if he's in there like
Grapevine.
I'll say this: the famous tambourinist for Motown was Jack Ashford, so it's probably one of his songs.
Here's a secret about Motown songs. They all
Yeah.
have a tambourine.
Well,
they all have, like,
but
two
he
or
was the
three
guy.
tambourines, right? Was he doing like 2 or 3 tambourine tracks?
Oh wow,
Or
was he?
they have? I don't
Yeah,
know. Like,
yeah,
Was
so
he like
Motown
going and
all had,
recording
like-
twice?
Probably. They probably had.
Huh.
They probably had a couple people, but he was like a
He was lead
a revolutionary tambourinist.
So this is like bad because it's
Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes. How
Well,
about
so
that?
the one that I want it to be is like, I think it sounds like Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops, which fans of Friends of the Table will know, like deep fans of Friends of the Table will know that it's on the season 3 Spotify playlist I made. But I like this image of this big gray, like mechanic singing about like Reach Out and I'll Be There. That's what I want, actually.
Yeah, it's
So,
pretty great.
he has like a deep voice. He's down here and he's singing, and I'm not going to sing in this voice because I don't know these lyrics well enough, and he's trying to hit parts of the song he shouldn't be hitting. Reach out. And it's like, no, you don't have it. You don't have the range. You don't have the range, bud.
Oh, he's having fun.
He's having a lot of fun. And that's what you see. What do you do?
I try. I mean, are we all in here, or is it just me for now?
Y'all tell
I
me.
think I come in.
Okay,
think,
yeah.
like-
So it's at least some
wait.
of us.
Graham
Wait, we're
Magnuson
not
is
even
like
knocking?
peeking in the door.
Yeah. No, that's what's gonna be. I open the door. We're there. He's singing, and then while we're in, I'm gonna try knocking on the door to see if it works. Because it's loud in there. He might not even hear.
You knock once and he doesn't hear you at all. And then you knock again and he's like, who? Come on in.
Hey.
Hey, you gotta come around the other side if you have a vehicle.
Oh, it's kind of a vehicle. It's not like we don't need it fixed or anything.
Who are you with? Also, wait, he's turning and facing you. He's a big cat man. He's got whiskers and a big white belly, and but it's smooth. Like, it's not furry. He has just like gray, maybe he's a big shark man. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have,
Could be like a Sphinx cat.
maybe he's like a Sphinx cat. Yeah, that's pretty much right. In the chat,
Or he's a possum. He could be a possum man.
no, he has like, Yeah, maybe
It's
he
not
is
like
a
a rat
possum
tail.
man. Wait, let me see. What's a possum look like? I haven't looked at a possum in a minute.
It looks like a big rat.
No, he's fatter than, like, he's bigger than that. Do you know what I mean? No, he doesn't look like a rat. He doesn't have a rat face. He has kind of a flat face.
What if you Google image searched fat possum?
He's just a big dude. Oh,
Here's a couple choice fat possum pics.
Oh, did this work out? I didn't do it before I said it.
I don't think he's a possum. Also, be careful. There's some gross shit in here.
Maybe he's a naked mole rat.
Oh, maybe he's a naked mole rat. No, he's super not.
Nah, naked mole rats are gnarly as
That's
hell.
gross. Who made
You
that?
can find sort of a cute one of these, sort of.
What about just like a mole?
Yeah, maybe he's a... No, I'm looking at a mole.
The moles are,
What about a
are
vole?
hecka furry.
What else,
Well, yeah, he's a vole.
what's a vole look like? A vole's like a little mouse, right?
Yeah.
I want to say he's smooth. Like, what's a smooth, like, mammal? Just type smooth
A
mammal.
platypus? Is that what you're looking for?
Smooth mammals are my next character.
Maybe he's an otter.
Dolphins
oh,
are a
he's
smooth
an
mammal?
otter. He's an
Oh,
otter.
he's an otter.
He's like an otter.
That's
He's
what you got there.
defo
That's
and-
the best. That's the best one of these.
He's
I guess
deaf.
otters have feet.
Excuse me?
I said, I guess otters have feet.
Art?
Are you sure that no one's ever confused an otter and a seal before? Because that's definitely what's happening for
wait,
me right
Art? I'm not an expert. You know that seals also have feet.
no,
What?
seal just have
No,
flippers.
seals
Those are feet.
They use them as feet, but they're just flippers.
I don't mean a bear. He's like a big otter man, which I guess is like a bear.
There's a... Never mind. There's
Yeah,
a subtext
you're
you're
being-
missing here.
There is a subtext. Sorry. No, he's defo a bear. He's defo a bear.
now. He's
So I didn't want it
He's
to be...
a bear
he's
otter
a
man.
bear otter?
He's a bear otter. Absolutely.
He is an otter man who is a bear.
There we
Don't
go.
Seals have like
Yeah.
aren't seals
Yes.
closer to dolphins in terms of lower body? I'm just gonna. Why am I asking? this?
No.
I'm literally sitting on the whole of human knowledge. Yeah, that's not really legs.
No.
Yeah, no, seals do not have legs. They have flippers that they wobble around on.
Anyway, he's a big otter man who's also
Sea
defo
lions
a bear. And that's what you see when you look at him. And he's just like wearing these overalls and doing work. He's got some oily ass hands.
So yeah, we don't have like a vehicle you need to fix. We just came here.
Who are you with?
It's me, it's Echo, it's
You notice him
Even.
he
and-
grips the wrench a little tighter. Hey now, hey.
Oh.
You don't need help.
Hey, no, hey.
What are you looking for if you're not looking for help? What's the
We're just passing through. We're just on our way to find a open spot of land to settle down on.
You with the crown? You with
No, we're
the
from
mandate? What's...
We're from not on the planet. We're from outside of the planet, off of it.
Y'all visitors.
Gig, yeah, just say we're from the
unaffiliated.
fleet.
We're unaffiliated.
You have anything?
We're unaffiliated planet-wise. We are affiliated space-wise. We live on a ship.
Got anything to prove that before me?
I can do this, and I take out my eye, and it flies around.
He like shakes his head. Oh yeah, I haven't seen someone take their eye out before.
Oh, thank God, because they still think it's weird on the spaceship.
They think it's weird. It's not that
They
weird.
think it's weird on the space. It creeps everybody out, and it's like you can buy this at a store. It's
I understand. I have 3.
that's such a relief to hear. Hey guys, do we have anything to prove that we're from a ship?
Can we just radio back?
Not until
Nah, I
you
guess
set
that
this
wouldn't
node
really
up
work.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing is you have to set up a node.
Right.
Or like
I mean, we
another-
can show them the node.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have I probably have an ID card.
Sure.
See here, it says
give me
Gumption's Gambit.
give me a sway.
A sway?
Yeah, when you want an NPC to do something you want, and their motivations don't line up with yours, roll. Again, take advantage because they are. This place is like a place that is. What was the word I used before? About the church.
You called it amenable?
Accommodating?
Not amenable is what I said. Yes. So yeah, take advantage again. So 3d6 plus estate.
Okay, slash plus.
And then make sure you mark whatever the state is.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mark sad earlier. Or scared earlier. I mean.
Scared. Yeah.
Scared. Yeah. So I'm probably still joyful. I'm joyful.
Okay, so you're being like kind of pleasant about this whole thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited
3d6.
for meeting the first person that we've met.
Yeah, 3d6
Roll
plus
3d6
2.
plus 2.
Ooh,
5,
14
10, yeah.
minus 2, so 12.
Wait, we're using minus 2. Oh, yeah, 12. That's
So
still
it's
great. Yeah.
5 plus 5
Totally.
plus 2 plus 2.
So when you get a 10 or above, they do it and they choose one. Sorry, you choose one. You're going to owe them some serious cred. You owe them your own faith is in question with them. You're going to give them something now instead of later. You need to do them a favor first, or you need to give a piece of yourself to them, body or heart.
Oh, he's gonna take your eye.
No, you can. You decide. You decide.
I decide.
Yes.
What do you think it means, give him a piece of my heart?
I think that depends. On the other side of the game so far, we have had situations where that was like, we've had that where that's just faith, where it's like you've given them faith, which I guess is actually your own faith is in question now. A promise. We had one that hasn't happened yet, so I don't want to spoil what it is, but someone basically was like, hey, like, I need you to assure me of this thing that you're going to do for me, which is like not a favor. It was something more like, hey, I need you to assure that you'll be here for me. If you can come up with a fun way to give your body or heart to this otter man,
yeah,
like I have an idea in my head.
So
but
here's my pitch: is I'm on the beat. I have my own sort of guy who's filming stuff and has a story in mind. Instincts here.
Yeah,
I trust this church as a place that is safe for us to be.
Mm-hmm.
I will give this otter man bear a piece of my heart in terms of, hey, I trust you, and if you need something from me, I will do it in return for us, hanging out.
I think he needs something more than just like a promise of a future good. Like, he's not in need right now. Do you know what I mean? So like, just like, oh, I'll help you out in the future isn't enough because he doesn't know that he needs anything yet.
Especially because one of the other options, they need something now instead of later,
Yeah.
which means you probably can't just be like, how about later?
Yeah. Especially because there's not a thing he's looking for later or now, right? Like, he's like, there just isn't a thing that he needs from you.
What was your thing that you said that you had in mind?
Well, one of two things is like, you could start interviewing him, in which case it's like, you're paying attention to his life, right? Like, part of the thing that we talked about with this vlogger before was like, there are people in the world who, when you leave a conversation with them, you leave going like, man, what a good person that is. And a big part of that is just like, I'm being thoughtful and asking questions about your life and like, tell me about yourself, like that sort of thing. The other is, you could start singing this song, but then I realized you don't know the lyrics to this song, unfortunately. This is a song from this culture, not
a different planet.
Yeah, different planet you have never been to before. But I think
I could sing the music parts.
You could just intuit where the next little bit of music is coming from.
Well, I can harm. I know I can be like, oh, I can intuit the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
I can at least harmonize with it. I can improvise some music.
I kind of want you to sing with this. I kind of want everybody else to walk into you two singing together. Is kind of what I want to see. And this place is amenable, and you got a 14, so like I'm not here to take that shit away from you. So
yeah.
So I think,
and then I can also interview this guy,
right?
Which
exactly. I think what we get is just like the door closes, and then we open, and it's just Gig and Surge, which is the name of this big otter man, singing some Motown track together. With mostly Gig doing, the harmony parts, basically. Damn good voice on you. Come on in, everybody. I'm Surge. Nice to meet you. This is my wife, or this is my, what would he say? Not wife. I don't think
that's a doom buggy. That's it.
This is my girl in her mom's place, but I just kind of fix things up here or there. Y'all want to come on inside and have some tea?
I would
Yeah.
love some tea.
Can we pull our thing into your garage to keep it
The
off the
hell
road?
is that? Never seen a thing like that. And like he like walks over and like gets close with his big otter face.
It's a node. It'll let us bring the mesh down here planet side.
What? Y'all leave it in here before you do anything. Y'all gonna have to clear it by Janie.
Okay.
Is that-
Which one's Janie?
Is that your girl?
Yeah.
Is that your car?
Who? It's not my car. My car is the Doom buggy, and don't you forget it. I've been working on this thing here for years. Anyway, come on
Do you
in.
fix other people's stuff or just like your own stuff?
I fix other people's stuff. I fix my own stuff. I fix stuff we find out in the rocks.
Are there like people nearby? They come over? Is this like a business?
Yeah, it's a line. It goes, from the sculpture out to the garden.
I don't know those two places, but they sound lovely.
Depends on what view you got. Anyway, come with me. And he leads you over to that little small house. And before he even gets in, there's like an older woman who has she's tattooed head to toe. She's also white. She has like dark skin though. She's like tanned white skin, with dyed black hair that is kind of like very wavy, and she's like incredibly thin. Like she's like an old woman, but her arms and her face are completely tattooed.
Is she also an otter?
No, she's a human. And she's like already has the door open and is like, "Found yourself some new friends, huh, Serge?" And he's like, not supposed to turn, you're supposed to be hospitable. That's how you get through in this life. And she's like, "One of these days, you're going to get us into trouble. Janie, your damn otter found some people."
It's kind
He's like,
of harsh.
and
Yeah,
he's like,
what?
don't worry about it. She's old. Different times, And heads inside. And there is a person. So inside, this building is low. It's also kind of a tannish color, or like a creamish peachish color, I guess. I'm kind of imagining the kind of southwestern architecture, like a southwestern Catholic church, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like very Mexican style Spanish architecture with red tiles up top. And inside this building is like wooden floor, where the wood is maybe not as like nice and polished. It's not like nice polished slats. It's like big wide wooden slats, with like throw rugs basically here or there, some candles, and in here they're also playing a similar sort of like throwback Motown music. That's like, it's probably just on a slower song though, just for the scene transition, and there is a person in a tattoo chair, who's like face down. It's almost like a massage chair, who's like their face is poking through the hole. It's just like a human dude, and there is a woman who is tattooing this guy on his back, and she's like a little chubby, rosy cheeks, with like a raspberry streak in blonde hair, freckled face, looking very focused. She has an apron on, and has like a huge floating tattoo kit, basically. And she also has like full sleeves. I guess like she has on like a tan t-shirt, basically, and you can just see like her arms are covered, but her face isn't. And her tattoos are just like really interesting geometrical patterns. Her mother's are not. Her mother's are just like stuff. She's got like a name. She's like 6 different names on there. She's got like a picture of a city. She has an eagle. She probably has like an eagle fighting a tiger, like the back of Echo's jacket. Like
It was very popular for a while.
And the Surge, who's the big otter guy, is like, let her finish. Come in another room. I'll make you some tea. And he like walks you into a kitchen, like a dinette, basically, and begins to brew you some tea. So
What kind of tea you got?
It's succulent mixed with some acai berries.
Ooh, superfood.
That's right. That's what they say. It's a superfood. And he pours himself like a stein of it. Like he has like a big old. He's big. He big. And like he sits on what is definitely just like a cockpit chair to a giant truck, basically. And pours out the tea for all of you, and he just puts his stein down and starts letting it steep. He doesn't like drink it for a little while. And there's like even something built in on the table he's putting it on has like an internal heater that keeps it warm so that it can steep really long. He doesn't explain this to you. This is just what he's doing. So off world. I know there's an off world. I know the history. I didn't expect to see anybody from off-world.
Until recently, we didn't really expect to be on-world.
Yeah, that's... What are you here? What are you here doing?
We're trying to reconnect everybody.
Reconnect everybody?
Yeah.
What's your plan to do that? People don't want to be connected. The way I see it.
Some of our ships are dead, and so some people thought maybe we could find somewhere else to sort of move to.
You're not looking for just a mechanic to fix those ships up? What's the...
No, they, died.
Well,
I could... Listen, I've heard that before.
Die.
I could...
Well, a lot of the ships died. I mean, the Divines died. The ships broke.
The Divines died? What?
The ships are flying.
Is this code
and
language?
Some of the Divines were
This might
ships.
be a weird situation where I don't understand some key terminology. I'm trying to keep up. I understand you come from a faraway place. You don't just mean boats. You mean spaceships, right? I'm not...
spaceships.
Yeah, okay.
We feel like we might be in danger in the spaceships, and so some people thought, hey, we should check out some of the planets.
Okay.
See if maybe we can build homes on the planets.
Perfect sense. Why don't you just build new ships? Or go back to your home planet or whatever?
I don't think any of us have home planets anymore.
Yeah, I think
my great grandfather's the last one who touched soil.
Well, welcome to Quire. Listen, this is all above my pay grade, frankly.
Real quick, do you know stuff about some shadows?
Shadows?
Yeah, we saw some or one of us saw some shadows that were scared him.
Oh, there's stuff out in those canyon hills. I stay away.
Do you know about the city? Like the abandoned city that's in the caves?
I might have heard this and that. I'm not a scholar and I'm not an explorer. I'm a mechanic. I know what I do. I do it pretty damn well. And
I've got one more sort of general question like that. It's sort of maybe closer to home. You seen those people that send up those weird birds? What's that about?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Oh shit. I'll be right back. And he stands up. The tea should be ready now. And he goes in the other room and you hear him go like, Janie, there's they said they saw. Yeah, okay. 5 more. Okay. And he comes back in and is like, give her 5 more minutes. She'll be done. Whew. That's bad news.
How come?
Vultures. It sounds like they're waiting to attack something. Plenty of scrap when we're done. I just hope it's not someone innocent.
Wait, who are they?
I just, raiders and mercenaries and scavengers. Mandati, maybe.
Who's Mandati?
Mandati. They're the I guess the crown calls them the Savage Mandate. They're a group of people.
Wow, that sounds scary.
Who's the crown?
Yeah.
This is a lot. You all don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We've never heard of any of this.
You didn't send scouts ahead of time.
We're the scouts ahead of time.
Yeah, we're the scouts. The next people will know all of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess unless something horrible happens to us, then they'll know nothing.
All right. So, I think I'm just going to move you over to this place now. 1 second. Boom. I've just moved the party over to a big map. So, it is a map with, I know this number, 1,250 black hexagon tiles because I placed them all.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
Wow, you really did do that. Huh?
Because when we tried it before, I had not done that. I had just kind of placed like big black blocks, and then I realized that what I need to do is start removing the black blocks one by one, which is the only way for this to make any sense. So, at this point, you still don't have the whole map, right? You haven't updated this node, which means you don't have anything. But what he says is, okay, the crown is, all right, over to the west. There's the Crown of Glass. It's a kingdom of, artists and whatnot. Janie and her ma come from there. They're kind of a big deal. They have all this technology, and they got a bunch of different cities all over the damn place. Then there's the Mandati, who kind of go wherever they damn well please, if I'm being fully honest. And they kind of run the whole southern half of the continent. There's scrappers, raiders, a collection of folk more than a single society. Though I do hear they got a big old garage out east. Way down south, there's the Rogue Wave. 500 captains. All vaguely aligned to some notion of, co-independence. Which sounds like some bullshit if you ask me. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then I'm from the Skane, out east. A bunch of folk like me, figuring out what we are. One biological organism at a time. That's pretty much what we got.
So does like everybody in this game look different?
Yeah, not everybody, but a lot of people do. You should see the guy who runs the damn thing. He's like a big lizard man.
All right, so this is all sincerely very interesting. But here's an important thing I need to ask: is are we at risk of being attacked by those guys we saw? Like,
Not
could they be on their way here?
Right here. You stay right here. They probably won't come at us.
Okay.
Why is that?
We don't have much to take. We're small fries. Whatever they're waiting for, a group. If they got them birds, then that's about something bigger.
I mean, is it possible that someone already saw us? That we are what they're out looking for?
You brought that node thing inside, right?
Yeah.
I think we're okay. I think.
What else is nearby? Like, what could they be waiting for, if you have any idea
It could
at
be
all?
a shipment. It could be a shipment with regard to the crown. It could be... I'm not sure. What time of year is it? And he starts going through months in his head. And I think it's around then that Jane comes in, who is the tattoo artist. And she just goes right over to the sink and begins to wash her hands. I think it's like a pump sink. She's pump some water, and then it starts flowing again. So from off-world, huh?
Yeah, we're from a bunch of different spaceships.
Yeah.
Spaceships. Brilliant. Huh. Let me see those. And she goes over to you, Grand, because you have tattoos, right?
I have one big tattoo.
Where is it?
It's on my right arm.
Uh-huh.
And it's a collection of historical and some fictional mechs fighting each other. There's no mesh right now, so it's not super cool. It's just regular cool.
But it's just like mechs from it's old divines and stuff.
It's some old divines. It's probably some a rook or something.
Right.
It's probably got some mechs from the intervening
right, the one
time. It's probably biased towards recent.
Sure.
It also has at least one. It has one Gundam and one Power Rangers Megazord. But
Good.
I'm still in the process of selecting those.
Good. Perfect. So I think she's like, "Oh, that's pretty damn good work. Who'd you get this done by?"
Oh, you know, the I'm trying to think of a name.
I had assumed you did it.
No, I can't. Oh, it's better if I did it. It's better if I built a mech that let me tattoo my own arm.
It is better.
All right, that's the answer. I built a robot that I control with both hands that could do the work on my own arm. It had I mean, I don't want to I can't freehand like this or anything. I don't want you to think that. It had a lot of stabilization built in.
And you use both hands to put one on your arm. That's pretty impressive.
I'm pretty good at what I do.
She like shakes her head. The lines are wrong, but it's all right. So you're from off planet.
Yeah, from the Divine Fleet.
The Divine Fleet. Those are old words. I think Serge kind of like scratches the back of his head and like, they're old words, Serge. Don't worry about it. Do y'all need food?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need it,
Very
but
much.
we wouldn't turn it down either.
Serge, get these poor folks something. I'm going to talk to them.
Finally.
And Serge starts cooking up.
I didn't realize you were so hungry.
We've been eating like trail mix and like rations for the past couple of days. I'd like actual
You don't like these
food.
little M&M things?
It's been rustic and fun.
I want dinner.
Serge got you covered. Any dietary concerns? Will anyone not eat cactus fruit or whatever?
I can't eat anything that's still alive.
That should be fine.
Okay.
All right now.
I don't prefer saffron.
But
That's just how I'm saying that sentence.
okay. That's fantastic. So what do you need?
Oh wait, I mean, I also would rather not eat butt if that's what you were asking.
Not what I was asking.
I mean,
Okay, just checking.
the future, be a bit more progressive.
I can't believe it took until 1,000 years after Mirage for them to add an ass-eating emoji.
It's got that fucking emoji soundtrack to it.
Oh my god. I hate everything.
That's how people remember Paul McCartney in the future. Oh, from that turtle that eats butt.
Duo and loving it.
Oh. So what is it you folks need? Because I'm all for welcoming people. I'm all for being hospitable, but off-world sounds like trouble.
It is trouble. That's why we are trying to, leave it.
I appreciate the honesty.
So, what they're trying to do is basically install the same mesh that they have on the fleet down here, because I don't know.
You don't seem convinced.
I can't use it, and I don't really see why it's a necessity, if I'm being honest.
I mean, some of the crown cities have things like that. Some of the crown cities, they're something else.
We're probably not like them.
Why do you say that?
I've just probability. We're probably not like.
I don't know. I've
Any-
run into folks like you out in those cities. People who build things so that they can make art.
No, I don't. The things I build are art.
Okay.
Well, you did build the robot that then did the art on your arm.
But it was you should have seen that robot.
Oh, it was better than the
she
tattoo,
laughed.
I bet.
I'm just going to say it one time, and you're getting yourselves in up to your heads.
In what? In opportunity?
Oh, buddy. It's a big world here, and there's still a lot of
Yeah.
space. But there's a lot
That's great news.
but there's a lot of people who like things the way they are, or who want them to be more one way than another way.
Uh-huh.
And there is going to be a lot of opportunity, and you're the opportunity for them.
Huh. That's not a great thing to hear. There is, we did hear that there's a whole section of this continent called the Savage Mandate. That doesn't sound
don't
ideal.
Call them that. They're not savage. It's some...
That's what we just learned that word.
I do...
Wait,
Surge.
The
And he's like, well, that's
He
what
did-
the crown
hold on, to be fair
that's
to
what the
Surge-
crown says.
To be fair, he did offer that as a secondary name.
Okay, just don't use that word around here.
Okay, how come?
Because it's bullshit. They're just people what have cars and airships, and sometimes they live inside of weird machine wrecks or whatever, but they're not savage.
Okay. But they are Mandati?
They call themselves Mendati. I'll call them Mendati. No problem.
Okay.
Anyway.
I bought the whole Savage Mandate thing just because they looked like they were looking to,
You can't judge a book by its cover. If there's some people near here who happen to be part of the mandate who are looking for a fight, that doesn't mean all the Mendati are out for a fight.
So it's not like one big gang.
Ain't nothing like one big gang out here. The crown is the closest thing. And even that's got
To a big
factions and sub-factions and allegiances and bullshit.
Microfactions?
Sub-allegiances?
Sub-allegiances. All the different words you're saying.
Macrofactions.
That's just the big one. Yeah, that's... Oh, shit, she says. Like, that's the crown. It's...
The crown's the macrofaction?
She's coming back. She's on her way back. And she just, like, stands up and leaves the kitchen. And heads, like, into the big main room and, like, grabs, like, a cloak from the wall. The Doyen is coming back from the garden. That's what's happening. That's what those... shit.
Who?
The crown herself. It's around the same time every year. She goes out to the garden. She passes right by here. She's gonna be here, and then, like, that's when you hear the explosion from outside.